What is good? Osiris here, stuck in the middle. Thanks for joining again. There's this group out in the Portland area, and they're supposed to be anti-fascists. So their name is supposed to be built off of being anti-fascism, but they're not really that. So let me just call them T. T was out full force the other day, really in a way I haven't seen. They interrupted a police press conference. I'll get into what the press conference was for, but this is how it looked.
Ambulance! Tell them what happened.
20 minutes!
Last night,
20
white
minutes
supremacists
for a fucking
We're getting
ambulance!
threats. We're
20
getting threats
minutes.
from all these white supremacists.
20
Guess
minutes
what?
for a fucking
They started
ambulance!
shooting. Y'all let
minutes.
August 22nd. How many cops were off on August 22nd? How many cops were off? Letting them shoot at us in the street. Letting us buck all this shit. I ain't gonna stand here and let these cops lie. I'm not going to stand here and let these cops lie when they are sending gypsy jokers to kidnap us. When they are sanctioning this violence against us. As Ted Wheeler is telling these white supremacists
Catch your breath. I'm getting worried. This is a recording, and I'm still getting worried.
to stand back and stand by. We are dying. We are trying to peacefully protest, and they are killing.
I am really excited about this because this T group, they're actually pro 2A and pro police. You just heard it there. But what happened last Saturday? There was an investigation into an unfortunate incident. It involved furries and a lot of other things. But no, I'm being seriously. Things are getting scary in Portland. There was an investigation into the February 19th shooting at the intersection here, and it started with a confrontation between an armed homeowner and armed protesters. The scene was chaotic. This is a statement from the police. The scene was chaotic. A number of witnesses were uncooperative with responding officers. Most people on the scene left. Detectives believe a large number of people either witnessed what happened or recorded the incident. It's very complicated, they said. They're trying to put the puzzle pieces together, and it's alleged that evidence was tampered with. 1 dead, 5 injured out in Portland. Things are not de-escalating. A mass shooting is what it was that happened Saturday. It was supposedly a gathering in solidarity with Amir Locke. So they get into a shootout to celebrate Amir Locke, like leveraging the dead body of a black person. These groups here, Black Lives Matter, they link up with this T group. One of the most disgusting things that you will ever find in the history of activism in America. Using a dead black person for their goal. A black person who died, in my opinion, completely sad but legitimate shooting. And they're out here getting into gunfire. A woman was pronounced deceased. 2 men, 3 women were taken to nearby hospitals. They had 2 suspects at the time. After the mass shooting, this T group at their gathering in Portland last night, they were calling for comrades to delete evidence from social media and not to talk to investigators. These accounts were spreading disinformation, and this is according to Andy No, and they claim it's a peaceful group. That's not true. It's not a peaceful group. It's the same group I did a video on last summer, and the title of the video was Not My Idea, talking about this T group. It was another armed confrontation, and there's still suspects that haven't been found from that confrontation. Same group, arms. They're pro 2A. They're armed to the teeth. They've got weapons. Don't let them fool you about what they're about. More information here, GoFundMe. They're raising money over this on GoFundMe. We know famously GoFundMe shut down the Canadian peaceful protests. They called them a terrorist organization. Is this T Group one? Seems like it's not. They destroyed digital evidence, likely removed their own side's bullet shell casings. So if everything was on the up and up, I'm not believing anything that they say or anybody says, really. But if everything was on the up and up, why are you removing shell casings? Why are you not cooperating? You might say, "Well, they're against police." Well, I'll show you later. They're really not. It's so sad to see some of the people who fell victim to this cult, this gang. I don't know what you would want to call them. Probably a young lady that would have been a bright star, beautiful young lady in another life. And she's dark right now in a dark place. This was one of the members of that group. She claimed that it was peaceful. It just happened. She was trying to clear the roadway, but she is arrested multiple times. She's been arrested multiple times for riots, has a criminal trial in May for multiple violent felonies. So innocent until proven guilty, but does it feel like she's just some innocent sunflower? It doesn't feel that way to me. After that presser, they followed the cop to the car.
Coward!
I'll show you why I feel they are actually pro 2A and pro police. Actually, well, we've already seen why they're pro 2A. They've got heat. This is the same group that raised arms in the video I did last summer in Portland. Very dangerous group. They're violent. They're openly violent. They say we practice nonviolent and violent. That's terrorism. But they also cry for the police.
August 22nd. How many cops were off on August 22nd?
How many cops were off? I thought all cops are bad. How many cops are off? Why do you care about that?
August 22nd. How many cops were off on August 22nd? How many cops were off?
I don't know. Why do you care? You don't like the cops. Listen to someone in the audience say, hey, come on now, articulate yourself. You're struggling.
August 22nd. How many cops were off on August 22nd? How many cops were off? Letting them shoot at us in the street. Letting us buck all their shit. I ain't gonna stand here and let these cops lie.
Calm down.
I ain't August 22nd. All their
Calm down and articulate yourself.
shit. I ain't gonna stand here and let these cops lie. I ain't gonna stand here and let these cops lie. I'm not going to stand here.
There's a lot of people who have fallen victim to this ideology. It's very sad to see. What I'm seeing here is a group, the T group, who is pro 2A, pro police. She's literally crying like, where were the police when we needed them? Oh man, this was a funny moment though.
20 minutes for the ambulance.
Tell them what happened.
So this is when they took over his press conference. This is some lieutenant, head officer is going to talk about the case. Antifa or whoever this woman is, I don't know if she's down with them. Obviously, she's down with somebody. Somebody's coaching her in the crowd. He's like, okay. This is like me when my wife's like, can we talk?
20 minutes for the ambulance.
Tell them what happened.
Oh my goodness.
20 minutes for the ambulance.
Tell them what happened.
They're very, very aggressive, and they're not to be taken lightly. They followed the cop to the car. We saw the press conference get interrupted. I'm going to take away with this. They are getting institutional power or people who are friendly. And I'm not going to mention the name of the person that's funding a lot of these district attorneys. I just want to stay out of that right now. I love life. But it's George Gascon got thrown. They want him to be thrown out of office for being soft on crime. He's one of those soft on crime DAs. Who did he hire to be on his executive team? These two young ladies, these two women. One who said that the LAPD is a barbarian occupying army, that prison is obsolete and it should be abolished. Elisa Blair, another one, said, burn that ish down during the George Floyd protests. Both are former public defenders. They both are on Gascon's executive team. I'm sure they have aspirations for a higher office. My takeaway for normal people is we got to start thinking about secession. There's absolutely no reason to be sharing a union with a state that's putting up with that kind of nonsense. They don't share our values. They don't believe in the Constitution. Why are we in a union? Please give me an example. Resources aren't going to do it. Like resources, that's like saying, well, Kanye and Kim should have stayed married because they had a lot of resources. Nope, that's not going to do it. They had to part ways, like many other people had to get a divorce, and we might have to do that. I'm worried about it because I think that the cabal actually might want that. I don't know, because the cabal thinks that if we do that, then they can use justify force to roll over the half of the country that doesn't believe with this nonsense. But we have no other choice. We're not putting this back together. You ever heard when you get the toothpaste out of the tube, it won't go back. You can't put it back. It's over. A pandemic, threat of nuclear war has not brought us together. This group, BLM, and this T group rose to power right around the time Donald Trump took office. And Hillary Clinton's lawyer is now trying to save the Black Lives Matter global network, at least. I wonder if there's any ties there. Everything is going back to 2016 and the elimination of Trump and his supporters. We can't go back. We can't. This woman here who's not well mentally, I feel bad for her, but we can't put the toothpaste back in. We have to figure out a way forward. And there's multiple ways you can do that. Some people say that you could get approval of both House and Senate, get approval for secession, get states grouped together, and it would also have to be ratified by 3/4 of the nation's state legislators. It's a tough task, but there's more than one way. I'd rather go that route. Let me know what you think. Take care.